This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com, and I am live in Montreal, in the ghetto here, with two-time and longest reigning Canadian champion Jeremy Prophet, who's getting the Hannibal TV heavyweight title shot against current champion, the Prodigy Nathan Banner, August 10th in Petawawa in the Ottawa Valley. The winner of that faces Davey Boy Smith Jr. with the title on the line October 20th in Ottawa. And we also have Jessika Black, who is holding the Women's Championship of Canada, but officially that title has been vacated. She is wrestling Melanie Havoc to find out who's going to be the new Women's Champion of Canada August 10th in Petawawa. And then the winner of that will face Lady Yasmin October 20th in Ottawa. She is injured, but she will be refereeing the Lady Yasmin is going to be refereeing the Petawawa Women's Championship match. So what are your guys' thoughts on your matches in Petawawa?
You can go first on that one if you want.
Well, like I've said before, you guys paying a lot of money to see some good competitive matches, but in Petawawa against Melanie Havoc, I respect that she has the courage to step up to me, but it's going to be pretty one-sided.
And as for my match, I mean, I've had Nathan Banner's number since day one. There's nothing that he can do in there that's going to surprise me. And last time he had to put his hands on an official to find a way out of a match that he was already about to lose. I mean, I had him in a submission. He was crying like a baby. And it's pretty much going to be just a much more condensed version of the same thing, because there's literally nothing he can do to me in there that is going to cause any kind of duress and lead to any kind of a victory for him. Even here he wants to choose a stipulation. I'm more than open to that. I can beat him at any kind of match he wants to do. Cage match, chain match, street fight. Any match you want, Banner. Ain't going to bother me.
And Nidef on here is asking who each of your favorite wrestler is.
I can go first. I mean,
Go ahead, go.
first wrestler
It's Hannibal, I know that.
toughest opponent maybe, but first wrestler I ever saw was Bret the Hitman Hart. It was Bret Hart versus Blake Beverly on Maple Leaf Wrestling. I must have been about 4 or 5 years old, and Bret's always been one of my favorites, so it's a pretty easy one for me to answer.
For me, I have two answers. My first favorite wrestler that I really chose to follow around was Mick Foley. And then as I grew a bit older and I went back to look some old tapes, I really started enjoying a lot of Alundra Blaze's stuff in WWE at first.
Greg Valentine's ex-girlfriend, Alundra Blaze, for those that don't know. And someone is asking, Josh, as his name is asking, your thoughts on the Road Warriors.
I never had the chance to see the Road Warriors. I did see Animal a few years ago when he came in for GNW. Thought they were a great team for their time. A lot of innovative power wrestling things that they like to do, and obviously the look, it's iconic. It's copied time and time again. I saw recently Villain Enterprise did a tribute to them for Ring of Honor, so definitely, you know, the look, revolutionary for its time, and the team, yeah, great for their time as well.
I think for me, same thing. I remember being like 5 years old with my dad watching it, watching them, and undeniable that their look really was, that's what you watched it for. You watched it for seeing them walk to the ring and do what they did.
Speaking of Villain Enterprises, PCO, former Great North Wrestling Canadian champion, is part of that group. You wrestled him in one of his first comeback matches in Great North Wrestling, which he has admitted he was scouted out of the Hannibal TV posted matches. What are your thoughts on him getting supposedly a 6-figure contract with Ring of Honor?
I think that it's tremendous that he got that, and he's definitely deserving of it. Believe it or not, that match we did in Great North Wrestling was the first time we had ever been in a ring with each other, and you know, he's great. It's almost unbelievable when you think about the fact that he's 50 years old or more, competing with some of the best in the world. And they say PCO is not human, and it's become a very popular catchphrase, but seeing some of the stuff that he's able to withstand, getting power bombed out of balconies, thrown out of the ring, just taking all kinds of abuse, it's almost unheard of for someone of that age to be able to take that and to keep coming back. So, you know, I'm glad to hear that he's doing well. And, you know, hey, if he ever wants to drop a little line about the guy who worked with him, helped him get scouted, you know, Ring of Honor I think they got a top-notch product, and I think that Jeremy Prophet could definitely add a lot of pizzazz to what they have.
And Ryan Golding on here is asking what motivates each of you in wrestling.
Well, what motivates me is I enjoy proving that I'm dominant.
Go on and be honest with them. Tell them it's the money.
Well, I enjoy proving that I'm dominant and getting paid for it, obviously. But you know what? It's you need to be strong to be in this sport. You need to be tough, and I enjoy getting rid of all these little girls trying to pretend to be women, trying to pretend wrestling, or pretend I don't know what, and really bringing back the fight and the toughness into the women's division in Canada.
As for me, I mean, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. Wrestling is everything I've ever wanted to do. I get to go in, beat people up, entertain. It's really, there's nothing else like it. It's like getting to be a rock star and an athlete at the same time. And that's what I love about it. There's really nothing else I'd rather be doing.
Funny question, why aren't we all watching the Raw reunion?
Oh!
Hey, only 2 million people in the States watch it, and that's on a good night. So I don't blame them for tuning into some alternative content.
Sid's going to be on that, who we all love here from Great North Wrestling. Someone else is asking for you two, if you had the choice between WWE or AEW now, which company would each of you choose?
I'll let you go first on that one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm part of those 2 million. Not always live, but I still watch WWE, and I've watched all the AEW events that they've done so far. I think WWE right now, a little oversaturated. There's a lot of talent that they're gobbling up. A lot of it they're just kind of keeping just so that it doesn't go to the competition and develop into something that can make money. So, you know, I've been a little bit bitter on WWE for a long time. So I'd actually say, yeah, I'd be welcome to the opportunity to go to AEW or any other alternative. I mean, I know a lot of people that are performing there. I've rubbed shoulders with them, been on shows with them. Same goes for WWE too, don't get me wrong. But I think I'm the kind of person who'd like to have a platform with a good amount of creativity to showcase my ability to be profitable for an enterprise like a WWE. And I just don't think going in there without the, I don't want to say indie credit, but I mean without having performed for larger independent organizations, I would be able to go in and kick down the door and be able to show them exactly who I am and what I'm worth.
I think I like what he said about just getting to AEW and showing what you can do, but more than that, I think there's a lot of women on that roster that I'd like to go up against, a lot of the Japanese girls, and just to really show what I can do before getting to WWE and getting in that cycle, like really showing that I'm a tough girl and I can hang with the best of them.
Now, this is a question for Jeremy. You've obviously wrestled Scott Steiner 3 times in Great North Wrestling. All those matches are on the Hannibal TV for anyone that wants to check them out, but you've wrestled Scott Steiner 3 times. Would you tell him to his face that the Frankensteiner is a Hurricanrana?
No, I think it's a Frankensteiner, actually, and he has every right to say that. Yeah, the Hurricanrana, that's what they call it in Mexico. Maybe it's existed there longer, but to fans in North America, most likely the person even asking this question, it's a Frankensteiner. He innovated it here. I can't think of one person that would have done that maneuver before Scott Steiner, so he has every right to claim the name of it. And would I tell him to his face? You know, if you paid me the right price, I would. You know, I'm not scared of Scott. I respect him, but it wouldn't be my opinion. I'll put it that way.